Hi, my name's Lisa Kosei. I'm here with Gray Area, and I'm here today with Bijou. Bijou, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Super excited and glad we're here.
Yeah, great. Happy to be here too. So Bijou recently released Gang Gang on Nightbase label. So we're gonna talk to him a bit about that track as well as him growing up and being part of the industry.
Yes, I'm
So,
excited.
Bijou, can you describe your sound in 3 words?
Dark, driving, and ominous.
All good ones. And you recently released Gang Gang on Nightbase. Can you discuss the inspiration for the song and your relationship with the label?
So the song itself, I wanted to create something that was for the people who have kind of followed me from the beginning and a song for the people, like Gang Gang is like everyone who supported me, everyone who comes to the shows, everyone who's listening to my music. And I wanted to kind of create something that kept my West Coast like influence sound, but also was kind of driving forward and a little bit houseier in regards to the direction that I'm going now with my music. So the vocal sample is a really big aspect of it. And then I just kind of wanted like a very simple but heavy drop that just was groovy. And then label wise, Night Bass, AC Slater is one of my really, really good friends. And I actually had flown into LA for one of the Night Bass parties on Thursdays that they do at Sound. And I landed at the airport and we were texting. I was like, hey, have I sent you this song? And he's like, no, send it over. And I sent it and he goes, yo, like, if this is available, like, I want it. It was
Mhm.
an immediate reaction, which was great. So it's nice to have that relationship with him because it's more than just music. There's like an actual friendship with him, which is what he's done a great job with the label as well.
That's fantastic. And what was your first big release?
For Night Bass, it was in 2016, I believe. I think it was called Can't Stop Us. It was with Vanilla Ace, who is another guy who like supported me early on. So I've been working with them for about 5 years now.
And what was your biggest breakthrough like?
It was actually that week. It's funny because I had that record come out, and then I had Hello with Dr. Fresh come out the same week,
Mhm,
which we're a little bit concerned about because like, oh, 2 songs in the same week, not sure. But this is before like the heavy Spotify era.
mhm.
So SoundCloud stuff was really driving, and those 2 songs came out. I think 2 weeks later, Don Diablo played it at Mainstage EDC. And a week later, I started getting offers to tour out of state for the first time ever.
That's so cool. That's awesome. And went from like kind of being worried about releasing 2 tracks so close to another, but it worked out so perfectly.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how, I mean, they always say like one song can change it all, and it was like that one week changed it all.
Definitely. And so, how did your childhood impact you as an artist?
So my dad was actually in music. He was a manager. He's still managing bands from when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Like local bands in Phoenix. So I was always around it with the bands to him playing music at home. He plays guitar, he sings, he plays bass, plays drums. So we kind of grew up in a musical household, but it's funny because I grew up listening to reggae. My dad was playing reggae and like rock and roll all the time.
Mhm.
Uh, so that has been a huge inspiration. And I hadn't even heard it in my music, but one of his best friends came to one of the shows and goes, did you realize that like the drums he uses in his music are very influenced from that sound? And I never noticed it until he pointed
Mhm.
that out.
So, kind of transitioning from that, what was the first song that made you fall in love with dance music?
Ooh. Hands down, it was Tiesto Adagio for strings. I saw it on a YouTube video. I think it was in 2009.
Mhm.
I was playing baseball in the West Coast League up in Washington, and we traveled to Kelowna, Canada. And we were out, like in Canada, you can drink when you're 18, so we could go to the clubs. And this is before I stopped drinking. So we went out, we met some people, and they're like, hey, we're going to take you to this techno club. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but like, I'm in love with it. Found out Dead Mouse was playing on the beach the next day.
Oh
I
my
like
gosh.
tried to go. My coach was like, absolutely not. But we could hear it from the field, which was crazy. So it was really cool.
That's awesome. And what was your first job when you were young? And at what point did you see yourself doing this?
My first job ever, I was bagging groceries at Fry's in Tempe, Arizona. Because I was focused so much on sports my whole life because I was
Mhm,
playing baseball forever. And when I discovered this, I was like, okay, I want to be involved in it somehow. I really enjoy it. I found the Dead Mouse remix of You and I by Medina and was just
mhm,
like hooked. And then I went to school. It was my junior year in college. I went to Northwestern Oklahoma State and I met someone on my team named Calvin. And he goes, hey, let's go to this festival called Nocturnal Texas, which doesn't
mhm.
even exist anymore. This was 2010, and we went. I saw like Donald Glaude, Avicii, Armin van Buuren, Green Velvet, just those household names, and fell in love, and immediately drove home the next day and downloaded Virtual DJ, and was like, I think this is what I want to do.
That's definitely an awesome lineup. That's cool how it got you into it.
It was crazy. Like, yo, Porter Robinson was playing at like 4 p.m. on a side stage.
Oh my gosh, it's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So, what's your favorite song you made and what was happening in the studio when it was being made?
Ooh, that's a tough one because it's not out yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
when's it dropping?
it doesn't even have a release date yet. We're pitching it right now. It's actually a song that I made. So I run a music academy as
Mhm,
well, and it's actually a song that I made with one of my students, surprisingly. And he sent me this record, and I was like, "Yo, this is incredible! Like, if you want to work on this together, I'm all for it."
mhm,
Um, he's an incredible producer as well. Goes by the name of Zared, and the song's called San Tropez,
mhm,
and I can't stop listening to it, honestly. I'd say my favorite song out right now that I've ever made is actually the collab with Martin Horger called I Know. Uh,
mhm.
and we're that one came out on Solo Toco in September. And it was just a ton of back and forth with him and I. We probably went through 20 different versions of the song. And then one day he called me and he says, hey, I want to go over this with you. I think I have the final version ready for us. But it turned out way differently than I think any of us anticipated. Um, because we originally went in with like the 3 6 Mafia Stay Fly vocal. That's what the tour is called, Stay Fly.
Mhm.
And got a different vocal, got a different sound, and the song just evolved into a space that we thought was right for the both of us.
That's so cool, and definitely looking forward to listening to that unreleased track. It sounds like it's gonna be a banger.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. And if you could go back in time to when you first started making music and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say focus even more on production and perfecting like my sound and craft because I think early on
Mhm,
as a local DJ, I was so focused on DJing, I didn't understand how important it was to produce and really have my own music. And I think that would be the biggest thing that I would actually focus more on and tell my younger self.
that's awesome. One thing I'm always curious about when it comes to production is, do you think music theory is, like, necessary to make music, or do you find, it's not that big of a deal?
I think it depends on what you're making. For the type of music that I make, I don't think so. It can definitely help. I have no knowledge in music theory. I'm
Mhm,
totally transparent. And I've done everything my entire career by sound or by ear and just being like, okay, is this in key? Is it not in key? Does it sound good? You know, because in the end, if you think about it, if it sounds good, that's
mhm.
all that really matters.
Yeah, definitely true, and your music always sounds pretty good, so
Thank you.
works out.
Appreciate it.
Now we're gonna move into our lightning round where I'll ask you about 10 questions and we're just gonna answer them rapid fire. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's your favorite restaurant in your hometown?
Whoa. That's a tough one. It's this place called Casa Renoso that I can't even go to anymore because I'm vegan and they don't have vegan stuff, but it's the best.
What kind of food's it?
It's Mexican food.
Oh, okay, cool. And what's the last song that you listened to?
Brand New Machinery by Larry June.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
Um, P. Diddy, or it's a Puffy, Notorious B.I.G., and Mace, Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Good ones. Good job. Your least favorite condiment?
Ooh, mayonnaise. I don't know why. It just sounds gross. No, hold on. Blue cheese. Blue cheese. The worst.
See, you're breaking my heart with both of these. I love Lucy. I love mango. That's okay. Everyone has different tastes.
Very true.
Vegas or Miami?
Miami,
Analog or digital?
digital,
Cats or dogs?
dogs.
Your favorite album ever?
Ooh, Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
Hmm. Favorite movie soundtrack?
I don't have one. I
What's your
really.
favorite food? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really don't have one. Favorite food? Mac and cheese.
Everyone loves mac and cheese. Do you like it baked or do you like it like out of the package?
I like it all. I don't discriminate.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been great chatting with you.
Thank you for having me. That was fun.